I mixed pop with water. Whoops. Hello everyone, I'm MatthewDratt, and I'm going to be showing you what Takedown Project Lawson used to look like before I restarted it in late 2012. I restarted it in late 2012 because I just was not happy with how it was turning out. I didn't like the story, how that was turning out. I didn't like the gameplay. I didn't like a lot of anything of how it was turning out, and it just kept growing as more and more work. It's like, why do I keep getting more and more work when I work on this? That's not right. I should be finishing it. Instead, I'm just more disappointed that this thing over here is like this, so I guess I should redo that, and blah blah blah. So I restarted it after C3 2012. This is a build after C3 2012. It's around, I don't know, August, I guess, was this build. There were builds after this before I restarted, but this is the last one I still have. So I'm going to play through it. I'm going to give you guys a chance to look at what was Takedown like before I restarted it.
Karner, Kadar, welcome. I'm Lawson.
This is placeholder.
As you know, I run this organization. The purpose of this organization is to do things better than how the UNSC handles things.
Great line.
We will become the new heroes everyone looks up to. The UNSC doesn't really care, and that's why I left them. I built up this organization from nothing. Others liked my idea and joined me. I created my own Spartans. They're technically not Spartans though. Their suits are similar to that of an ODST. But now, I have my army. It's great to see two other true Spartans in the UNSC to join me. And the good news for you two, I already have a mission for you. You guys will be assisting me with Project Lawson.
And that's it. That's how the beginning starts off, and then it goes into Danger Canyon. You're probably thinking, what? Where's Valley Point Alpha? That didn't come about until after I restarted the project. And, yeah, that's how you were going to get introduced to Lawson's organization, was that. Because at this point, I guess I just released the introduction. But even then, like, this opening was before I even thought about the introduction. So it was like, what?
Kale, stay with them. Make sure they don't do anything.
You slow bullet. And so yeah, this is the actual beginning. I'll move my mic here. And you've seen that scene a few times. It eventually got cut. It cut when I started the project, and it was only there because that was the original start of the map. There was that little cutscene I showed you that was before Danger Canyon was even like later in production, because I was just like, wait, what? Lawson's a rogue Spartan. We get no introduction to him. Besides this, it's like, what? We need to see more of him. That's where the introduction came about. And I was actually gonna, after I finished this, I was gonna produce a prequel machinima, like a 5 to 10 minute machinima explaining, how Karner and Kadar actually got into Lawson's organization and stuff. And I was just like, I shouldn't have to do that. Why do I have to do that? That's not, no. This is the very first time. I shouldn't have to do that. So when I restarted the project, I was just like, I'm going to introduce Lawson right here. That Lawson biped right there probably shouldn't be there. So, yeah, ignore that Lawson biped. I'd delete him, but I don't know what the name is. And, yeah, this is a mess. You can see a lot of the same ideas here. Like, a lot of the things have the same idea. I didn't change it about extremely much. There are even some assets which I just stole right from this. That's my field of view. Don't mind those edges. I don't know why this got changed up, to be honest. I kinda like this. I don't know. Like, I even stole some camera points directly from this map in Project Lawson. Only like a few,
Better make this quick.
but
Right. In short, if we can get inside the base, we can shut down the power.
Yeah.
While searching, I found 3 other entrances. We can split up and try to find a way inside.
Right.
This is
the same
all
voice
I'm
actor
gonna
for
do.
Kadar there.
If you or Connor find anything, contact me ASAP.
I think he's the only voice actor which
While you're here, I'm in charge. If you don't like it, leave. Let's move out.
he's the only voice actor which is in the final Project Lawson, which is from this. Slow Bullet got cut, thankfully. I love you, Bullet. But yeah, Slow Bullet got cut, and Tempty's the only guy from this which did not get cut. And I think I'm playing Karner in this as a placeholder, which is why I have the same ODST armor in C32011. Can't remember when I changed my armor in C3, but and then I was gonna play Nova, which is why I had the same armor as Nova. But then I didn't play Nova. Austin Douglas Ford now plays Nova, and this High Guy plays Nova. I don't actually. High Guy sent me lines for Nova, but I don't think I actually kept them in this version. His name was in the credit roll at the beginning there, but I don't think his voice acting's actually in this. The Wraith was cut in Project Lawson mainly because I ran out of model index, whatever it is. It's not even tag slots. It's like you have just too much like model information in your map. I don't even know. But I ran out in Project Lawson, so whatever it was, I ran out of it. So you can probably expect me to run out again in Extermination, since it's so big, and that'll probably be into 2 yellow files. I don't know how to pronounce it. Masters I've heard pronounce it yellow, but it's not yellow. It's not YELLOW. It's YELO. Yellow. so that's how I pronounce it. Kind of like a sapien, gorilla. Oh, there's a cutscene here. I forgot about that. And instead of following Lawson here, he kind of just runs off on his own.
One of the entrances. I'll go check it out, while you guys take the Warthog and look for the other 2.
Ugh, my water's disgusting. Anyway. Regular BSP here. There's the extended BSP. The extended BSP came after I restarted the map. That was the very first thing I did, actually. I was just like, you know, if I can get a decent BSP in here, I will redo the project. Because, you know, I have a new BSP. You know, I kind of have to by that point, right? Not necessarily, but I still have to redo an entire section. And with the scripts in this map, it's a mess. You don't want to see the scripts in this. It is a complete mess. And so I was just like, you know, clean it up. And so that's another reason why I restarted the project, because the script, essentially it's 2 long scripts. Somewhere I like split the script in half, but it's all just like one startup script. It's a mess. And in Project Lost in the final version, you know, it's not that, obviously, because you can skip around from rally point to rally point. You can't do that with just one long startup script. But yeah, it's a lot more organized. I even have rally points in here too, but they serve no function besides their, I don't know, they don't have a function here because you can't skip any rally points, and not even me. I couldn't even skip a rally point. Like, I know Lemuria has developer rally points essentially, where if me, High Guy, or Lodix started up the map, we could skip to like a certain section in the map. Like if I loaded Lemuria C, for example, I could skip to near the end, just so I didn't have to play all that beginning part. And I essentially had the same idea here in Project Lost, not in this map, in the final version, except instead of just making it a developer only thing, I had Moose Guy make me that nice little UI. I was gonna say user interface, and then I said UI. So use UI. I'm not a good speaker. I shouldn't be allowed to speak words, and words are very hard for me since my primary language is English. So I mean,
Damn it. There's a door in my way.
same textures in this Danger Canyon BSP
Okay.
by Mang and Keo, Madge and Keo. You know who I'm talking about if you know who I'm talking about. And if you don't, well, then you don't. And you need to learn.
Cat off, unknown enemy. Pick me up with the warthog right now.
Yeah. There's another thing there, that there are human flood, which don't appear in Project Lawson. And the reason that there's no human flood in Project Lawson is because there's really no humans. I mean, there's a few dead Spartans around, but technically not Spartans. I made sure to make a point of that in this map and in Project Lawson. They're not actually Spartans. Nova makes that point. Nova and Harper make that point in the final version. And at that beginning prequel, if you didn't hear it, Lawson mentions it in version 2. I'll call this version I'm playing right now Takedown version 2 from now on. And then the final version I'll just refer to as Project Lawson. So yeah, very similar ideas here from my regular version. And quite honestly, that may be why, some of the bad ideas in the final Project Lawson, I referred it to the final again, and Project Lawson, some of the bad ideas like the sniper sequence up here are still in it. It's just because I was more or less just upgrading my already bad map. There's no door there. That would have been hard to make a sequel.
Lawson?
Like you can see here, I just stole
I lost radio
animations.
contact, alright? So, did you guys find a way in?
That little
Yeah.
black blip right there, that's actually in game. It was trying to cut out the
It doesn't matter.
animation
We need
snaps
in.
right there, because it takes like 3 to 4
Clear out
frames for
middle
like
of
the
canyon and we'll
character
move.
to snap into frame. Why is that biped not over there correctly? Oh. But yeah, it takes like 3 to 4 frames for the actual biped to snap. So me being lazy, I'll just, instead of showing it or trying to, I don't know, change the camera point, I just thought it would be a good idea to just cut to black. I don't know what I was thinking.
Alright.
This isn't Mass Effect. Mass Effect does do that,
Let's
where it has
move
like little
on.
black flips every now and then. I guess you can see my Mass Effect inspiration right there. And this cutscene wasn't done yet. Yeah, so there's no cutscene
Hunters,
there yet.
watch out.
I should better go and work on that. I like how the excuse, like, I didn't even have a cutscene at the time, so I didn't even really have an excuse of why you ended over here. I just knew that, hey, sometime I'm gonna make a cutscene here that explains why they come over this direction, so I can loop the player around the map again.
Here they come. Stay at the base and take them out with the sniper.
Yeah, the dropships here don't even drop off Covenant. You just kind of see that dropship fly overhead, and then Covenant just start pouring in. And I'm doing a terribly horrible job here at sniping.
Keep advancing forward.
Yeah, so I mean, I was more happy with this part of the map. Like, I thought this was fine here, which is pretty much why it's the same still, I guess. You have your invisible elites and grunts right here. Are there sentinels here? I don't know. It's been a while since I played this build. No, there are no sentinels here. There's no dropships here either. There's actually an invisible wall there every now and then that just kind of like blocks you from moving forward. There's actually quite a few invisible walls in this version, which you can just run into if you decide to get off course. In Project Lawson, at least the invisible wall here is explained by crashed dropships, so I kind of have an excuse. Might not be a good one, but you know, at least it's something compared to this invisible wall that is sometimes there, unless the objective is to get across here, and then it's just gone. And then there's another invisible wall during the Patriarchus chase, which I'll show later, I guess, if I remember. In the final version of Project Lawson, if you snipe most of the Covenant, there won't be Covenant here. But if you pretty much skip that section, there'll be Covenant there. In this version, doesn't matter; they won't appear.
Exactly
So that sniping section might have sucked a bit, but at least I kind of improved on it a bit in this. And this is timed. It's gonna take a while. It was a really long timer in this version. So I can dance around here for about 2 minutes before the cutscene activate. So I talked about my English talking ability. It's gonna take a while before this cutscene activates. You know, I'm one of the hosts of C3. I should be able to talk. But no, C3 does not help with your language skills at all. I missed. Is this cutscene ever gonna activate? Oh my gosh! This is ridiculous. There it goes. Same animations from Project Lawson. I just completely stole them out of this. The Enforcer shader is off. His texturing is off. No drop pod here, just kind of a rocket on the ground by a... So I don't even know what the reason was for him to be there then, if the rocket launcher is by a dead dude now. Yeah, there are some questionable things here in good old Takedown version 2. Like another cutscene. This cutscene made it into some of the first betas of Project Lawson, near the final version, but it was eventually cut just because I was just like too many cutscenes. So I was cutting cutscenes in the end during Project Lawson production. Duh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it kind of follows the same routine here, Project Lawson. I still think Project Lawson just a bit more cleaned up, you know, here and there. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just kind of figured I should be talking now, but I just don't know what to talk about. I always have to throw a grenade over that rock every time during testing. I always try to see if I could get the jackals. And I'm surprised I did, because I usually don't. Believe it or not. How many times I've probably played through this sequence and I usually can't get a jackal by throwing a grenade over that rock. Like I said, these rally points mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, if you go on my old X-Fire, MatthewDratt X-Fire, and I have gameplay of this section up, it probably looks exactly the same, except it's like 2 years earlier. It's like, how could, I've been working on this map for 2 years, and pretty much, certain parts still look exactly the same. Like, it's probably even like almost like tag wise exact. Like, what have I been doing for 2 to 3 years on Takedown version 2? It's just like, and that's more or less trying to figure out how to put anything with the mess of the scripts. Like I said earlier, the scripts were such a mess, it was impossible to work with them. And so I don't know if I want to put this map up for download, just because it's pretty horrible. If you really want this map, just X-Fire me and I can send you a link. But it's pretty bad. I mean, placeholder voice acting is pretty bad as well. So it's nothing new. It's Project Lawson, except it's shorter and doesn't have as many cutscenes. I guess that's another thing too. I guess I can talk about the story since I don't really have much to talk about. Like, this fine's kind of fine. This is fine. So my English skills. This gameplay section here is kind of fine. So I'm gonna talk about the story, I guess, if I can speak English today. It's not even 1 a.m. yet, and I usually record these far later. So. The Project Takedown, Operation Takedown is what I want to talk about. Because in this, there is no takedown operation. Lawson organization does exist, He does have his fake troops, Lawson's there. You don't actually see his base at all. And you don't really see any troops either, besides the ones that immediately die. But, there is no Operation Takedown, so the introduction, Project Lawson, Extermination, that is not explained here in... That's not explained here in this map.
Follow him. Stay here.
Which... I don't know. I don't even know what I would have really done. I guess it's just, I didn't really have that plan in there. Now that three-step I keep calling it an organization. That three-step operation, Takedown, is quite honestly quite important now. You have the introduction, you have Project Lawson, you have the extermination. That didn't work out. That cutscene right there didn't play out as it was supposed to. Lawson was supposed to go flying off screen. No big action sequence like it was in the final version. But back to talking about the story. So yeah, back to talking about the story. The Operation Takedown is quite honestly a big role now, so I don't I guess I can talk about how Takedown, the sequel to this, how it originally would have been. It's nothing like how Extermination's gonna be. I'm not saying there's like an extremely huge focus on the three-step operation. I can't talk. But it does play a role in Extermination. It does play quite semi-big role in the story of Extermination, since Extermination is the third and final step in Operation Takedown. And the stages might seem a bit confusing. Takedown, the introduction, to discover a Forerunner weapon and take down Project Lawson to find its location and take down Extermination to get the weapon. Like, you know, some people kind of were like, what? Doesn't make that much sense. And so it will be explained more, and there are quite honestly a few, I guess the biggest plot nitpicks which I got from Project Lawson, I will address in Extermination. To the point where I actually can address them. Like, there is just some which I just like, oh, whoops, I can't address that. Mistake there, sorry. But yeah, there's this map here. See, there's an invisible wall here. Oh crap, I missed the other invisible wall. It was right up here, right there. And if you try to follow Patriarchus the other way instead of the way I went, you'd hit an invisible wall. And so in Project Lawson, I cut that invisible wall out, so you can go either way, and you'll actually get a quite different. You'll get a little variety different in your cutscene right there. And I'm already at the end. This is 3 years of work. Oh, 3 years of horrible, horrible work. Oh, I actually made it that time. I always jump there to see if I can make it off that ledge. I can never do it in Project Lawson. That's just one of my things. Like, can I jump over the edge? I always try every time. I'm pretty sure he just gets deleted right there. That was pretty fast. To this day, I always was like, even in Project Lawson, I was like, oh, I should show Lawson getting up. Nah, that's too much animation work for me.
You were told to
We'll just
stay and wait.
cut over to him getting up.
You're lucky I didn't.
I had the situation under control.
You didn't.
Rick, pick me up from my location.
Roger that. Have you seen your new recruit?
That's
Easy
Nova.
with me.
On my way.
I guess that's another thing.
Gonna
If
sound
you're paying
nice.
attention to the actual placeholder dialogue, which you probably aren't, because you can't hear it, but Nova was originally called Rick. Yeah, that's a pretty great name, Rick.
Rick, take us
Yeah,
back.
right there. He says, take them back to base. So I knew that
Now I know where to
even if I release Takedown version 2 as is, and if I was still going to make a sequel, that I was going to eventually use custom BSP. So I'm happy with, you know, Project Lawson. I got custom BSP in there, kind of like as a testing for custom BSP. And so now Extermination's all custom BSP, which is really great because it allows me to do way much more. And yeah, don't name your kids Rick, name them Nova. I guess. This is the moral of this video. I'm sorry you watched this.